Don't just walk by. I've done it before, you know. Ignored people in need. But we mustn't. We mustn't just walk by. We need empathy. But fear, well, quite often driven by social media, TikTok videos, etc. People are worried to help. They're scared. You see somebody in trouble, you stop your car. You might help them out. Maybe they need a tyre changed or something like that. They're in distress. But then you'll see a TikTok video. And it's a mugging, a carjacking. Maybe. So then you don't help, you see. No. But we mustn't just walk on by or drive on by. We mustn't. But also, we mustn't put ourselves in harm's way. You have to judge the situation. Is there other people about, for instance? Are they just walking on by? Or, well, are you in an isolated position? Then obviously you might be putting yourself at risk, then you have to make the judgment. Maybe you have to walk on by. Maybe stop in an lay-by and phone the police. Maybe you should do that anyway. Well, in this video... Okay, you shut up now. Well, in this video I've got 3 little stories I want to share with you. Yeah, 3 little short stories that they are. I'm thinking to myself about charity. Being charitable. It's not just whether or not you hand cash over. No. It's about how you give a bit of yourself. My dear Caroline, as she has, on numerous occasions, helped others. Whether it be, well, volunteering at the local nursery in Salhouse, Norfolk, or whether it is helping at the school or just helping other people. Since we've been here, though, we've done charitable work, you know. Fostered animals and what have you, you know. Rehomed animals for the SPA, which is like the RSPCA in the UK. Or Phoenix, which is another animal rehoming centre. Organised as a charity, yeah. You guys have to do your bit, you know. About caring. It's about having, I suppose, empathy. Now, there is a reward, though. But there is. Charity. Well, it can make you feel good about yourself, you see. Maybe it's the only reason why you're doing it, is to give yourself a bit of a buzz. Well, if the outcome is positive, for the third party, for the other person who needs your help, well then, so be it. Why does it matter? Don't bother me. No, I don't care. If the only reason why you're being charitable is just so you make yourself feel good. Maybe there's things in your past, maybe there's things in your life you're not proud of, so you compensate. If that is, you know, if that's your reason to be charitable, well then do it. Like I say, I'm not just talking about money. No, I'm talking about you. Giving a bit of you. So important. It really does. It makes you a better man. Or woman. Am I supposed to say person? I don't know. I get all confused. I do. Well, no, the reason I thought I'd make this video is I was, well, as you walk from the house to here, and I just thought about walking on by. Because, well, I was looking at beans, and I picked the beans. I didn't walk on by, I picked those beans. Which my dear wife will probably eat. That's not really charity, is it? No. Because I'd have done it anyway, you see, because I don't want my food to go to waste. But it did make me, well, think of things we've done in the past, or stuff that's happened. Here in the Mode, for instance, in the limousine. Me and my dear wife were walking between, San Michel. No, actually, no, it wasn't San Michel. It was from the car park near one of the supermarkets. I think it was a supermarket. Large supermarket near a train station. And we're walking through, the town, and get towards San Michel, which is like a shopping centre. And there's this black geezer, those boxes, and it's in the winter. It's flipping cold. Stuff piled up around him. He was just sitting there. He had a pair of headphones on. Quite nice headphones, I thought. Ah, for crikey! You're homeless and you got they're like Bose or something like that. What? How little did I know. Well, I went up to the geezer and I gave him some money. It was like €5 or something I had in my pocket. It was just €5. Well, you know, you can get yourself a coffee or something, couldn't you? Or just get a bit of food or have you from the local shop. I don't know. Or whatever you want to do, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. You can't get drugs as far as I'm concerned. I'd rather you didn't, but it's not going to stop me giving a little bit. It's not a lot. Didn't have a lot. But when I go up to the geezer, I realised that those headphones were, well, they weren't really they were headphones. And yeah, they're like Bose or something like that. Actually, no, they were Sonys. They were Sonys. I remember now. Well, they weren't connected to anything. They weren't Bluetooth. They weren't connected to anything. He was keeping his ears warm. That's what he was doing. They were his ear muffs. Poor old bugger. So many people like that. There really is. Now, for a little while, me and my dear missus, because, we put ourselves out there, we felt good about it, We felt good about, it was only a £5. But we felt good that we actually did something. Can't remember his name. Reminds me of that American actor, Hans Christian Andersen. The guy who dances in a box in Chitty Bang Bang. The guy, the inventor. I can't remember his name, but he's a lovely, lovely man. He really is a lovely man. When he goes out there with a wad of cash and he hands it to people waiting to collect the dole money and stuff. I don't know what they call it over there in the United States, All to the homeless, and it's a little bit of money he hands out, $10 here and $10 there. But he does it. That bloke is probably very wealthy. I think he's about 90 odd now, he's an old geezer, Love that film, Chit Chit Bang Bang. Such a good feeling, good. It makes you feel good inside those sort of films. Although, as a kid, the child snatcher, oh my giddy aunt, he scared the jeepers out of me. He did. Him in his cage for the kids. Quite frightening, really, those sort of films of yesteryear. But, like I said, it made us feel good about ourselves. There's other times things like this has happened as well, It's another story. When you're in Norwich, me and my dear missus quite often sit in pret-a-manger. Sometimes outside, sometimes inside, depends on the weather and depends on where the seats are. And we would sit there, just watching the world go by. I've mentioned this before. I just love it, just to sit and watch. You learn so much just by sitting and watching. You really do, about people. Well, while we were there, sitting in the old pret-a-manger, it was in, I think it was late autumn, quite cold. All of a sudden we saw about, 6, maybe 10 people. I imagine they were Eastern Europeans. Their stature, whatever. They looked like the Eastern Europeans. It might be Polish, Romania, I don't know. But either way, they all walked on by. They were all carrying like duvets, manky old duvets. Oh. It just clicked. They're homeless. They've been sleeping in shop doorways and wherever they can, lay their head. You think to yourself, my God. Blimey. They must be absolutely freezing. It was cold. Well, there was somebody else there, standing there, selling the big issue. Yeah. Now, if you don't know what the big issue is, it's like a charity paper that has articles in it, it has adverts and stuff like that. And those selling the big issue, they get to keep the £1. Yeah, that's what it used to cost. I don't know what it is now, but it used to be £1. Anyway, this guy was selling the big issue. And just before we noticed and what have you, this lady, well, this not before, but while we're watching him, this lady turns up with a bag, and she pulls out a sandwich, like a, like a baguette kind of thing, and gives it to the geezer, selling the big issue. So he puts it in his bag. He does, doesn't he? He just puts it in his bag. As you remember, I was saying about these other geezers coming past with their duvets. This guy's selling the big issue. Remember, he's probably having a hard old life himself. People don't do that. You can't sell the big issue if it's just Joe Blogs, as in you've got your job and stuff like that. You're okay. You got your house, or I don't know, whatever. Generally speaking, these people are falling on hard times themselves. You don't sell the big issue unless you're falling on hard times. You really don't. Anyway, this guy goes up to one of the guys with the duvet and hands him this sandwich. This I forgot what you call them now. This baguette, anyway. This roll, and he hands it over to him. Me and Caroline, we just sort of watched. We were gobsmacked. There's this geezer who's got nothing, who's just been given a sandwich for him to eat, and he goes and gives it to somebody else. He's clearly, obviously, in a worse position that he's in. And my Caroline, oh dear, she's such a sweet lass, she really is. And she started crying. She had a little bit of a tear. Got quite emotional about it. So, what do? We just finished our coffee. The guy is still selling the big issue on Gentleman's Walk in Norwich. Not far from the Puppet Man. Gotta be careful. Have you ever got to Norwich on Gentleman's Walk? Walk along there, and the Puppet Man's there. Make sure you're not downwind, because he stinks. Oh, he seriously stinks. He stands there. He's got his cassette player going, an old-fashioned cassette player, just playing some random tune, and then he's with his puppet, just shaking it. just look it up. The Norwich Puppet Man. Oh my giddy aunt. Anyway, so we finished our coffee, what have you. We go up to this guy, standing on Gentleman's Road, Walk, and we asked him, why did you do that? What did, words that I can't remember the exact words, but we asked him about it. And he said, that was me. But now I'm okay. I got help. I've now got, he said he's got a little apartment, just like a bed sit type thing. He ain't got a lot. No. He said, that was me. I was sleeping on the streets, and now I've got a roof over my head. Other people, somebody out, they helped. The charity helped him to give him a bit of a foot up, to help get his life in order. It's very difficult to be able to do anything in society if you have no fixed abode, no address. Hard to get a bank account, hard to get anything. How the hell do you get a job? Very difficult. Well, we bought his big issue, and we give him an extra tenner. Because it made us feel good about ourselves as well. You say it's selfish in some ways, because I don't know if it actually was in that case, actually. It wasn't about feeling good about ourselves. No, it wasn't. It's more about, we felt that he deserved it, It was only a tenner, But 10 to him is a lot of money, at the time. This was probably about 14 years ago now. It was about just before we moved over here to France. But it was inspiring. It was emotional. It really was emotional. That somebody with nothing will give them their last baguette. It reminds me of a viral video where a gentleman gave this guy a pizza. And a homeless guy sitting on the side of the road, begging. And this guy comes up to him. It's all part of his video, viral, part of his videos. Obviously, he's not necessarily staged it, but, he didn't want to see what the reaction was going to be. So anyway, he gave the guy a pizza, and the guy invited him to share his pizza. The homeless guy offered his pizza. Got nothing, you see. Now, I'll tell you this now. Those people I've worked on in the past with very little money. who needed my help, needed my services to do a job, they were always the ones who were fast to pay. Always. We always found those with money were the ones who dragged their heels as long as they blooming could to, so avoid paying. Or hang on to it as long as they could. That's obviously not charitable. We must have charity, but for us to appreciate charity, or appreciate others, appreciate other people's trials and tribulations, we must have empathy. We have to understand it, you see. We have to be vulnerable within ourselves, really. We must have our own vulnerability to understand how others are feeling, their vulnerability. We really must. Like I say, their trials and tribulations. What are they going through in life? Is it... There it goes again. What was over there in the dead tree? Oh, like rooks. I think they're rooks. Anyway, you distracted me. Thank you very much. Well, it just makes me feel sad in some ways that people can't have that relationship with others, to, feel their pain, so to speak. I'm not saying you've got to feel, yourself, but you've got to understand, have empathy. Feel a bit of sorrow for people, And then maybe you'll be more open to other people's problems and help people. It could be somebody in your family, Good. But also you must be very careful. You really got to be careful. Now I don't know if I told you the story before, but my son and me, we cycled. I actually met up with my son in Bellac, near Limoges, on push bike. And we cycled together from Limoges, or Bellac, sorry, sort of south east, through all the national parks and what have you, Perpignan and what have you, and then we crossed over the border into Spain. Pouring down this was in September, it was freezing cold at night and pouring down during the day. Every single blooming day it was. Oh my giddy aunt. It was cold and wet. Shaking icicles out of my tent every single morning. It was terrible, I tell you. Go over the border, coming to Spain, it was flipping hot. You look at the mountains, you see one side's all like green and lush, obviously on the wet side of France, and you look at the other side and it's flipping dry and arid. Anyway, we went to Barcelona. While we were in Barcelona, we went to do all the usual sightseeing. Just been to the Sagrada de Familia and what have you, and various other places. Like the old town and what have you, in Barcelona Old Town, and then some of the more modern architecture as well, which I actually like. Graham Hughes is going to probably say the opposite, but I actually like modern architecture. I like surrealism and that as well. Well, we walked back, because we were camping out, because most of the time we were free camping. We were camping on the beach in Barcelona. They all their little boats, little fishing boats and what have you. And while we were there, we were walking back to where we were going to be camping. We got approached by somebody. Been, trying to be a bit charitable, helping somebody out. Like I said, I haven't got any money and stuff like that. Just helping somebody out. You've been charitable. Anyway, this guy comes up to us and asks us, give me directions to the Sagrada Familia. If you know what that is, it's like the Gaudi, the cathedral in Barcelona. I think it's disgusting. I hate it. It's not me at all. I think it's gaudy. Well, anyway, this guy asked us the directions, so there we are. We get our little brochure out, and because we had a little thingy. And a little map on it, and show where it is. Have you? All of a sudden, two geezers come up to us. From a car. The car comes speeding up to us, and they were so-called plainclothes police officers. And they wanted to say, wallets and all that sort of stuff. They started sniffing the wallets. They were drugs and stuff. You see. Anyway, they grabbed this guy. One of them did anyway, and they put him in the car. And they drove off. And the other guy stayed with us, walking with us. You see. Ask us questions, try to push us along. And that's kind of, doesn't feel right. This is a bit weird. And Anyway, he left us eventually. And so, what else going on there? So we both got our wallets out. And look after the wallets and that. Well, mine was okay, because I only had like €20 in there anyway. And, nothing had gone missed. Darren just been to the cash point. How little do we know, the kids, they mark you with water pistols at the cash points. And Darren just got 70 odd euros out. He was down 50 odd euros. I think, 50 odd euros he was down. They left him €20, so it wasn't too obvious. It was a friendly mugging. So, we thought it was up, do we report it and what have you? Anyway, we met up with somebody who we knew at the YMCA kind of place, we can stay, hostel, youth hostel. And we're chatting to these, people we knew actually from a couple of days before. They're Dutch, on a tandem. Him and his missus. Anyway, they said they'd been to Barcelona last year. We got mugged, they said. An aggressive mugging, a violent mugging. Got punched. Stole from. Our mugging was friendly. It was a friendly mugging. It was. So you do have to be careful as well. You can't obviously just be willy-nilly with charity. You have to have your wits about you sometimes. There are dangers. Just like you see these videos where people want to do a carjacking or, will take you, unaware, and it's all about the moment, you see. All about the moment. You don't necessarily get all your cogs into gear straight away, do you? If it's a police officer, oh my god, that's all convincing until I saw his shoes. He had crappy old trainers on. I thought that was a police officer. It just didn't click, though. It just didn't click at the time. But we must still, analyse the situation. We have to have empathy for others, but also be wise as well. Got to think about what we're doing. We can help, but we also be safe. There's many ways to help others, with charity and what have you. Yes, you could go online and donate some money, but many charities are expensive to run. They really are, they just cost money. And in the UK, for instance, the law is at least 40% of that money has to go to the actual benefactor of that charity. You're supposed to help people. At least 40%, every 40p in the pound minimum has to go to that charity. Some charities, give them almost all their money. Some don't. Expensive to run. Like the RSPCA, expensive to run. Not many of these charities. Sometimes it just takes you doing a little bit yourself. Doesn't always mean money. It's how you can help somebody. So share my blooming video. Oh dear. Acts of kindness. That's what we should be doing. Anyway, I hope you like my little stories and what have you. I probably rambled on a little bit, but I just think it's just nice to share sometimes and maybe ground people as well. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying, be charitable, Okay, I need to make ends meet and all that, but, it's just not... That's the gamble, you see. It's just nice sometimes just to share your thoughts with people. Maybe, hopefully, you help people. Hopefully. Hopefully you change people's mindset to be a little bit more open to others and their needs and maybe analyse why people are the way that they are. Some people there's no helping, but some people you can turn around, Some people you can change their mindsets just by being charitable yourself. Now, evil begets evil, but also, I suppose, love begets love. If I want to get all soppy and silly. Yeah, it really does. Who you tell me? Please, leave it in the comments down below. If you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee and what have you. Oh my God, I'm talking about charity. Oh God, we should do to say that now. Oh, what an idiot. Anyway, it's time for me to go, so I say ta-ta, so ta-ta. And have a lovely day, really. And don't walk on by, no. Ta-ta.